Hello and welcome to episode 43 of this Blender and Unity crash course. This episode we're going to do a few things. We're going to make it so we can die. We're going to create some icons for our little scorekeeper there and our health. I'll show you how to do that in Unity and Blender. I prefer to do them in Unity, so I'll use a new scene with a black background and use GIMP to basically create a sprite out of it. We'll hide our cursor, so now if we click play, could have done this a long time ago, but it's all right. We have our cursor here, and we can go off the screen and kind of do stuff. We can hide that, no problem. And hopefully we'll get into a pause menu, something we can hit escape, pause the game, go back to the main menu, change the settings, whatever we want to do there in the future. So let's get started with our death. So I think it's on our player damage. No, on our player controller. Under our hurt function. So here it checks if our health is 0, and if it is, maybe we just want to call a die function on our game manager. Let's say public void player death. Okay, so here maybe we want to say we want to stop controlling the camera. I like that effect. We want to stop the player from being able to move. We will play his death animation on the actual player script. So we'll leave that out of here. Maybe we want a game over screen. Maybe we want it to say restart or main menu. Okay. Let's go back to our player death, our player controller. And right here, we'll say game manager. One thing we can do here, when we state this 4 times, right at the top of hurt, we could just say game manager dot instance game manager equals game manager dot instance. Now we can just call this instead of writing this whole line out. Okay, that works too. Okay, we'll probably call this underneath actually. Make sure our health hits 0, doesn't go below, and then we die. Alright. This here basically means we'll only ever take 1 damage. But we could just full-on die in our game manager here. So we could call this public void player death. Maybe if he falls into some water, gets crushed by a boulder or something. We'll figure that out. So stop controlling the camera. So what we need to do there is we need to say using Cinemachine. Okay, so we can access those parameters. And we can say public Cinemachine brain. Camera brain, just call it that. And here we can just say camera brain dot enabled. Whoops. Almost every component you can say dot enabled equals true or false. Almost every component, and what that's going to do is just check off. It's going to deactivate that component in the game here. So basically, anything with the component, we go to our main camera here. It's just going to uncheck this. Basically, the camera will stop where it is, and we won't be able to control it anymore. So that works. Here, stop the player. You might want to say public player controller. Well, let's try a new little function here for finding components. Let's say player controller. Because we're not going to have 2 of these, right? We're only going to have 1. It's not a multiplayer game. So we can do it this way. Player controller. And here at the start, we'll just say player controller equals find object of type. Now this basically means find an object with this component in these 2 triangle parentheses. So if there's only 1, well, as long as there's only 1, this will work. So it'll find the player controller script and take that game object, basically, and know that we're talking about that particular script. Okay, so it'll take our player, it'll find this on the player. And now we can call something off of that script. So we can say player controller dot enabled equals false. So we can't actually move after that. It's good. We could actually say right here at the start as well. We might want to actually put this up here just in case we reset our game in an unorthodox way to make sure these are true. And we're able to move and we're able to control our camera. All right. And that should do it. So let's just go to our player controller. And here we'll say else. Okay, so if our health is above 0, we'll do all this. If it's not, let's do this. Sorry, let's put it here. Okay, and we'll play faint on this part here. Alright, so that should work out. So let's just place a few of these crates around and see if we can die. So we gotta go to our game manager, we gotta assign our camera brain, which is just our main camera. We could actually do that another way as well. We could say, instead of public Cinemachine brain, whoops, on game manager, do the same thing here. Cinemachine brain. Why? Oh, camera brain, sorry. Equals, we could say find object of type, Cinemachine brain, but I think we'll just say camera.main. So any camera tagged main camera will, this is what that'll find. Camera.main.get component Cinemachine brain. Okay, so it'll just go to our main camera and find this. That's good, so we don't have to actually assign it. Okay, no, it's good to note that these things take an extra second to load. So at the start, it's okay. But you don't want to have these happening all the time. And public and dragging stuff in will load your game initially a lot faster than actually finding components and finding the main camera and stuff like that. With a small game like this, it will be fast and probably completely unnoticeable, but in bigger games, you will absolutely start to notice. Whoops, need to place a few of these around. Want to make sure they don't blow each other up. I want to get hurt one at a time. And we could probably set a little stabilizer so that we don't just get hurt and die right away from 3 explosions. Okay, so we lost 1 HP, 2 HP, 3 HP, and I can't move. Very cool. That worked out. Alright, so that's working for us. So now we just need maybe some more UI. So what else we could do? We can go to our game manager to fix that cursor problem. Here we can just say cursor dot lock mode or lock state equals cursor lock mode dot locked. So what this will do is lock the cursor to the center of the screen, right? And we'll say cursor dot cursor visible equals false. Okay, so this will basically just turn our cursor on and off. So if you want to actually be able to have the choice, just make a public bool here. Cursor lock. Set to false initially, and we'll say if cursor lock, do this. Alright, so if we check this little box, then it will make our cursor invisible. Let's go to our game manager. Just check this box whenever you want to actually play the game without having your cursor all messed up. And now you can turn as much as you like, right? And not be worrying about that. As long as it's not full screen and you have multiple monitors, you will see your cursor go over. So in the playtest mode, you can hit escape anytime your cursor is hidden, and it will reveal your cursor. Just to bear that in mind. So when we hit escape in the game, in the built game, it won't actually do that. So we need to actually set that. If we make a pause menu, we need to set our cursor visible and stuff like that right here, just like this.